What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. The number one question I keep seeing getting asked in my DMs, in the comment section on my channel, is why couldn't Tony have just used one stone, a couple of the stones? Why did he actually have to snap? And yeah, the directors have weighed in for their reasons. Some of the writers have talked about it, but there's actually one pretty simple reason. It's logical and it's not a narrative one. We're going to break down exactly why Tony had to snap and in that moment to defeat Thanos and bring an end to the Infinity Saga. But first, if you could, grab the subscribe button. We're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including tickets to go see Avengers Endgame while they're still in IMAX and tickets to go see Spider-Man Far From Home once they come out. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. I'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, first and foremost, I want to address something specifically. People are asking why Tony couldn't have just used one stone, why he had to snap, but not the overarching theme of why he had to snap and die. Addressing that were the Russos and the writers in the last 2 weeks, as they've opened up like a completely bloomed flower as to all the answers they've given. Man, I've never heard anybody so candid as the writers and the directors in the last couple of weeks, and good for them. Like I said in another video, they must feel super liberated now that they can talk freely about all this stuff without giving up any spoilers. And what the writers and directors had to say specifically to the New York Times when it comes to Tony Stark, the snap, and the end of the movie was this. Everyone knew this was going to be the end of the Tony Stark character. I don't think there were any mandates. If we had any, or a good reason not to, certainly people would have entertained that fact. But in a way, Stark has been the mirror of Steve Rogers the entire time. Steve has been moving towards some sort of self-enlightenment, while Tony has been moving towards selflessness, and they both got to their end in this movie. When pressed further in several interviews as to if there was any chance that Tony Stark could have survived this movie, they said no, because they had the opportunity to give him the perfect retirement life in that 5-year jump. He married Pepper, he had a kid, and it was always in the cards that he was going to die. As the writer said, it didn't feel like a tragedy, but more like an heroic life lived instead. And the idea that Tony Stark was always going to die makes a lot of sense, but the question people are specifically asking is, why did he have to snap? He had all of the stones and an opportunity to erase Thanos. Also, it had been set up as canon leading into this movie that all of the Infinity Stones were needed in unison to snap half of the universe away. Otherwise, Thanos could have gone on conquesting with just the 2 or 3 stones that he obtained at the beginning. It was more of an efficiency thing. The Russos did explain that this snap was symbolism for erasing Thanos from all timelines and rather bringing Tony to a point where he had finally protected the Earth as a suit of armor around it. But again, why did he have to snap? And in this moment, could he not have just turned the Power Stone on Thanos there and certainly obliterated him and his armies? And quite honestly, the answer is no. If you remember in the scene right before Tony gets the gauntlet, Thanos actually has it on, and it's only for sheer will of Captain Marvel and then getting blasted by the Power Stone, and then Tony at the last minute swiping the stones with sleight of hand that Thanos doesn't get to re-snap the snap. Thanos isn't going to give up. He's the biggest and baddest, as the Russos have said. He's been conquering for 1,000 years, and in this moment where Tony has all of the stones, he doesn't have the power to wield them all. Remember, guys, not only do you need to know how to wield the stones, but you have to have the power to do so. Earlier in the movie, when Hulk puts on the gauntlet to unsnap the population back, he almost can't get the snap off. The power of the stones is too much for him to wield. And every other time we've seen anybody try to wield these stones, Thanos included, they take a heavy physical toll just to have them wielded in the first place before you ever use them. Tony doesn't have time to try to wield these stones. Just the use of the Power Stone as it is wouldn't be enough to defeat all of Thanos' army at that moment, and he has minutes, if not seconds, before his body would have deteriorated and disintegrated under the power of the stones themselves. So it's not just symbolism that Tony had to snap and give his life to protect this timeline, but rather logical writing as well. And that's why these Avengers movies, going all the way back to Phase 1, resonate with us so hard, because they're logically written. Yes, there's There's things in mind that the directors and the writers want to set up and execute, but they don't just do things for the sake of it, i.e. let Tony sacrifice his life for no reason. Doctor Strange holds up the number one, as he said in Infinity War as well, because the only way in that moment to make sure that they win and win for real and forever is for Tony to snap. That is the logical thing in that moment. Unlike a stark comparison, no pun intended, to this season's Game of Thrones, where the writers just decided, hey, it doesn't matter what we do, people won't realize that nothing logically makes sense, and instead made for an awful, awful story. The important part of this to remember is, yes, there's symbolism here, and that Tony does have to sacrifice his life and complete that discussion between Captain America and him in the first Avengers movie. You're not the one to lay down your life. You're not the one to make the sacrifice play. When indeed, at the end of his character arc, he did just that. But rather logically, they set it up as well. The Avengers were so overwhelmed, so spread thin, and in the fight of their lives for Earth the second time and in that moment. And remember, just seconds before Tony does this, Thanos has another opportunity to almost snap again. If Tony doesn't snap in that exact moment, there's a chance that they lose and never have another chance to win. And like I said, the writers have set this up logically, so it's not just Tony sacrificing his life for the sake of it when there was a logical way out. He literally was backed into a corner where this was the only way out. And to be honest with you guys, it makes a lot of sense for his character arc, but it also makes a lot of sense for Thanos and his armies. And just look at the battle. They gave it everything they had, and Thanos was still able to almost hold par, bring his armies down, destroy the quantum tunnel, and get his hands on the Infinity Gauntlet. They were almost close to losing, and maybe they would have won, but Doctor Strange went ahead and confirmed that no, there was no other way. You've got to snap now. And he did. That is the logical reason why Tony had to snap and couldn't have just used the Power Stone or any of the other stones to change what was going on and win the fight. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this. Of course, there's the reasons he had to snap thematically, but logically, in that moment, the way they wrote it, can you see another way that he would have had to snap or something that I'm missing? Because I'm all ears in the comments with you guys all the time. It's one of my favorite parts of this channel that you guys love to offer your opinions. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, or if you're in total agreement with me. And quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, one at the 400,000 subscriber mark, which we are rapidly approaching, and another over on my Spotify account, Allfires. It's free and easy to enter to win that one, and a lot less people are entering, so your odds are way higher. All you have to do, click the link in the description and comments down below. Follow my Spotify account, Allfires, then stream the song, screenshot you following it, and email that screenshot to everythingalwaysyt@gmail.com. If you want to win the PlayStation here at the channel, or the tickets to go see Avengers Endgame in IMAX, or the Spider-Man Far From Home tickets once they go on sale, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and the more videos that you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Guys, thanks for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.